everyone, my name is John.
And I'm Faith.
And today here on the channel, we're doing a special video for you guys. We're going to be talking about streaming services because I'm a physical media collector, but my wife, Faith here, happens to be a big streamer. She's the reason why we spend so much money on streaming services because as an avid TV watcher, she loves that. But for me, I still watch some stuff as some movies are exclusive to streaming services. Obviously, all those shows are exclusive to their own individual streaming services. And now with the cost of streaming rising, we see price hikes all the time. It's almost getting back to the world of cable. And now we're starting to think, you know what, maybe I don't need all of these streaming services. So you have to make some tough cuts. And we're going to tell you here today what streaming services are good, which are bad, and we're going to weigh the pros and cons on all of them to help you guys make a decision on what you need and what you don't need. And the first one that we're going to dive into are some of the ones like Starz, Showtime, Cinemax, the ones that you can usually bundle with other stuff. And I don't think you need Showtime and Cinemax per se. You could bundle Showtime with Paramount Plus. It's not really that much money. But Starz, on the other hand, which is $9 a month, I know my wife here loves Starz. And explain to them why you think Starz is worth its price.
Okay, so Starz is worth it if, and only if, you are into the Powerverse. That means the Power Book 1, Power Book 2, Kanan. And then they have other branches. These are all 50 Cent shows. They have other branches with BMF. And then there's another show that I really like on Starz called Run the World. It's only on the second season, but it's a show regarding 4 or 5 young black women who are just trying to make their own way in their lives, whether it's in their marriage, their career, and I love shows like that. I love shows that I could relate to and stuff like that. The whole Powerverse is just fun. The writers are amazing. Starz also has the show P-Valley. I absolutely love that show. I think it's on season. It's coming on season 3, but because of the writers' strike, they pushed it back. But I love that show. So if you're into those shows, it's worth it. If you're not, it's not worth the money. I am a big TV person, so I have to have certain streaming networks to watch maybe 1 or 2 shows that I might enjoy. The best thing kind of to do is watch it when the show ends that season, cancel it, and when it comes back, you get it again.
Exactly. And then you get the little streaming services like the Criterion Channel and Shudder, which Shudder caters mostly to the horror fan. So if you're a horror fan, you know, you would be doing yourself a disservice by not having Shudder, especially at that price point. I believe it's like only $6.99 and Criterion Channel is only $5.99. Or maybe it's a little bit more, but either way, it's like it's catering to just a certain individual. So if you are into those things, definitely you're going to want Shudder and Criterion. But if you're not, then there's no reason because it's not going to be making stuff that's for like 4 quadrants that everybody can enjoy. So if you're a horror fan, 100% get Shudder. And Shudder does release some of their movies physically and some of their shows like Cursed Films or Skinamarink is getting a Blu-ray release, I believe, on June 20th. So some of their bigger stuff do get physical releases, but if you're a horror fan and you're into that genre filmmaking, you're doing yourself a disservice by not having Shudder. And now diving back into more of the bigger services, Prime Video. Prime Video, you kind of get, it's $15 a month, but you also get it with, you know, Amazon Prime. And, you know, their free 2-day delivery and all of that. So, because you handle some of the streaming networks as billing, you know, like you pay for them. So it's $15 a month. That's not including your $99 that you pay in the beginning of the year? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm pretty sure it gets deducted monthly from our Amazon Prime card at $15 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not included with Prime.
No, it is. You're paying for Amazon Prime monthly, and included in it is Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, so you don't pay for it like annually?
No, you can. There is an annual. You can pay annually. Most of these do have annual choices, so you can pay once a year, which will actually save you money, but you have to have the money up front and you can buy it yearly. A lot of them will give you deals like that. New streaming services will always give you the best deal right up front, like to get you in the door. But Amazon Prime has a lot of great, you know, content. Like they just released Air this year, which is an original movie. They also have like shows like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Reacher, what's that other, Jack Ryan.
Now Air because it just came out, right? Do you have to pay for air if you have Prime?
No, it's free on there right now.
Oh, so it's free on Prime.
Yeah,
okay, so that's a good deal.
Yeah, Amazon Studios made the movie, so like a lot of these studios, a lot of these streamers, if they make the movies, they'll come to their streaming services a lot quicker. Amazon Prime is another one where like some of their movies will get released physically. I'm hoping that Air gets a physical release because I think it's one of the best movies of 2023.
Love that movie.
But you can watch it right now.
And I'm a Jordan fan, so.
Yeah, Amazon Prime is also like a hub, so you can rent movies from them, all new releases. So I think Amazon Prime is definitely one of the ones that you must have, and its price point is a little bit high, but they do have a lot, and they do a lot of great originals, and just having Amazon Prime itself locked in there. Would you agree? It's probably worth it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really usually use Prime, and it's hard for me to say it's worth it for us because you collect. So a lot of the movies that you might want to stream because you don't have it, then it's worth it, but you collect and we have so many movies that half the time we don't even need to.
Yeah. I just think that I probably wouldn't have Amazon Prime Video if it wasn't for the inclusion of Amazon Prime itself.
Yeah.
So, but I think with that deal, it's a great deal that it's definitely worth it. Now, diving into things that usually get bundled, Apple TV Plus. Now, this is only $6.99 a month, and usually Apple will make you a deal, the deal that I have, which is they give you their cloud storage and they give you Apple Music, and I think it's $15 a month, which is a pretty sweet deal because I was already paying $10 for Apple Music and I was paying for the cloud storage, so I almost got it for free. But if you're just buying Apple TV Plus, say you're not even an Apple user, I don't think it's worth it even at $6.99 because there's just not a lot of originals on there. Mm-hmm. Like you got The Morning Show, that show that just recently came out last year with Paul Thomas Hauser. Blackbird, Paul Walter Hauser. That show is fantastic. But Ted Lasso with Jason Sudeikis is on there as well.
This is the last season.
I know, but I heard people were upset. I haven't watched it, but we did used to. We watched the first
season, yeah, so we got to go back and because we loved the first season. I don't know why we didn't watch the second. We were actually waiting for the second season.
I know. I don't know what happened. Well, that's because I'm just not as big of a TV. That's why Fate's here, is because Fate's the TV person and I'm the movie guy. So, you know, the thing with Apple is they have released some movies and they actually have a Best Picture winner in Coda on there. So that's actually pretty cool. But again, then, I just don't think it's enough.
Rob McElhenney's show.
Oh yes, Rob McElhenney's show is on there. What is that? Mythic Quest.
Mystic Quest.
Or I think it's Mythic Quest.
It's Mystic Quest.
Either way, that's on there also. So it's got some options. $6.99 is not the most expensive, but if you can get it bundled, I think it's worth it. But if not, I don't think there's enough originality on there to get you to keep.
Yeah, no. Apple. A lot of times you get the Apple for free. Mm-hmm. So Apple TV for free. So it's like it's worth it. But
now a big one for us that we were debating about because I said 100% you need this one and Faith said 100% no, and that is Peacock.
Yeah, no.
So Peacock, now this is an NBC thing, and NBC Universal property. So you're gonna get all of Universal's movies on there early, like movies like Cocaine Bear and Knock at the Cabin, which do get physical releases also. So that's the thing with me is I never watch movies on Peacock. If I like those movies, I buy them because they do get released physically. Mm-hmm. Now this is the reason why I think you need Peacock. Besides Unsolved Mysteries, every episode is on there. You get the WWE Network here in the United States, bundle it in there for free, basically at its regular price point. So if you're a fan of WWE and you want to watch their premium live events, which you can just watch every month, and if you were like me and you were spending $35 on each one of those back in the day, saving up all of your allowance money, to have those for free each month on the network, and every single episode of Raw from the Attitude Era and all of its, every pay-per-view that was on back in the day and all their documentaries, for me, that's a no-brainer. But like Faith said, not enough original programming on there for you?
No, I don't even think I watch one show on that.
So it's basically just me?
I mean, SVU has I watch SVU a lot, so they have like the new episodes and I can just stream them if I miss them, somehow, because they're also on Hulu, I believe. But Peacock just does it right. They have it on order, everything's just by seasons, and there's over 20 seasons. Oh. So there's a lot to watch.
Peacock does usually.
So that's the only thing on that channel. I mean, if you said we're going to get rid of it tomorrow, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I just can't because of the WWE section of it. But I mean, I don't think that Peacock has, them and Paramount, I think they have some of the weaker streams themselves, and they have you think that Peacock has a clean interface. I think it's a little bit clunky, but not as clunky as Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. This one, I think the only reason you keep this around is if you're a fan of Yellowstone and if you like the Viacom shows, which is basically any show. MTV, Nickelodeon, BET. BET, I believe, has their own streaming service as well. So all of that.
They have BET Plus.
Yeah. Which, again, that's kind of falls in line like with Stars, Shudder. Like, you have to be really invested in that program for that to be worth it. But as far as Paramount Plus goes, they have some of the worst streams, and they have a very clunky interface. Now, they did release Halo on there, which I know a lot of people were kind of a fan of, I guess. And then, obviously, Yellowstone is the big one for everybody. But really, for me, the only reason we even had it was just to watch old Nicktoons, which we like to do. But other than that, I never go on Paramount Plus. I think Paramount Plus is definitely the weakest. You get all of Paramount's back catalog.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan. I mean, I like MTV stuff, but I don't even watch that really anymore.
No.
So it's
not really like, I don't think
it's their old stuff. It's not anything new. So it's not like they're putting out new television shows and they're putting them on Paramount.
Like they've done a couple, but I think they've all fallen.
Like, I don't even think they have like all the episodes of Catfish and stuff like that. So that's disappointing.
They have rights things going on also with South Park, which is a Viacom show, but they having a rights thing with them and now just Max, which we'll get to in a minute. So they have issues with that. But I just think that Paramount Plus is probably the weakest. I also think that their interface is so clunky, so out of order. It just, for the price they charge, it just does not feel worth it. I think Paramount Plus is definitely the one you could give a skip. And now getting up into the big boys.
This is where the big boys play, huh?
We're going to dive right up into Hulu. Now, Hulu is pretty, this one's tough. We'll talk about Hulu and Disney Plus at the same time because they're both owned by the same company, which is Disney. Disney owns both Hulu, well, they own the majority stake in Hulu, and then they own Disney Plus. So a lot of times you get the Disney Plus bundle also with ESPN, which if you get it like that, worth it. But if you have to choose between them, I think Hulu is the better compared to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially for us.
Yes,
because we watch a lot of FX shows.
FX on Hulu. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like we are able to watch Always Sunny. We're able to watch How I Met Your Mother, How I Met Your Father. So definitely need that.
Yeah, Hulu I think is definitely one of the ones that is a kind of a necessity, only in the sense that you do get FX on Hulu, and like Class 09 is out. That's another FX show. And then you have certain movies that are just on Hulu that have never gotten physical releases, which kills me. Like movies like Palm Springs and Fresh, which I think are some great movies that I would love to have a 4K of, or just a Blu-ray in general. But my only option to watch those movies now is on Hulu. So I think Hulu in that sense is definitely worth it. Now Disney Plus, I collect movies. So Disney, I buy all of like the Marvel movies on 4K. They don't put the IMAX scenes on their 4Ks. If you want to watch those IMAX enhanced scenes, the only way you can watch them are on Disney Plus. Even with Dolby Vision, that's it. The best way to watch the Marvel movies, and we've been doing them, is on Disney Plus. So they almost like corner you if you want to watch it in the highest quality. It's not on their physical releases, it's on their streaming service, which is frustrating because I do believe that their original Marvel shows have been lagging behind, and I don't think the MCU in general has lived up to what it did leading into Endgame. So, and then the Star Wars original shows have kind of also, for me, I don't know about you, kind of teetered off. So it doesn't feel like Disney Plus is worth it, and they keep raising their price, but it's still not one of the most expensive streaming services. So it's like, you get caught between a rock and a hard place. But what I don't like that Disney, and they did this recently, is they removed a lot of their shows and original movies that weren't doing well. So now those creators of their shows, those shows are just gone. Like, you can't find them because they have no physical releases, so that's it. And this is just a way to not have to pay the creators royalties, which I think is a bad business habit, but that's Disney for you. They're a mega corporation, so
they don't care.
They don't care. So it's a yes for Hulu, a no for Disney Plus. And now diving into Max. Which used to be HBO, but now it's just Max.
Love it.
They combined it with Discovery, which, yes, I think that Max is 110%
worth
yes.
It.
Yeah. They are. They did some shady stuff as well with, like, trying to get write-downs, like with movies like Batgirl and stuff like that, and then they removed, like, shows like Westworld where you can't watch them anymore, only on the Roku channel. So it's very frustrating in that sense, but, because, again, mega corporation, we're talking about Discovery, Warner here, so this is it. But as far as that, you get every original HBO original show on there, like The Wire, The Sopranos. You know, these do have physical releases. You know, you get shows like Watchmen, Chernobyl, Succession. There's just so much just from HBO. Then you get little hubs like TCM, so Turner Classic Movies on there, which I'll always go into if I don't have the physical releases. Then you have, you know, the Adult Swim section. And now I know you're happy with a lot of the TLC shows on there. And 90 Day Fiancé is on there now, right?
Every 90 Day Fiancé, the Caribbean one, you know, I love them. So I can literally watch those shows all day.
Yeah, and it's just
I'm excited about that.
There is so much on there for you. I don't like their pricing now because it was $14.99 a month. And now it's going to be $19.99 a month if you want 4K. Now, I'm a bit of a quality snob, so I do not like having things in the lower quality if a higher quality is available. So I'd want that 4K stream. Now, the thing is, I buy all my movies physically, so it would just be for the shows. So I don't know if I have enough to say, like, but I do think that HBO Max 100% worth it, or just Max is definitely worth it. So now the coup de grace, the final one we're going to talk about today is Netflix. Now I think that Netflix has been lagging behind, except for, you know, their original shows like Stranger Things. Their original films are hit or miss. Some of them, if they're really good, will get released by the Criterion Collection, like movies like The Irishman. So if it's good enough, Marriage Story, they'll do a physical release, but for the most part, their movies just come and go, and they're usually very generic, not that great. So for me, I think that Netflix, especially now with this, you can't share your passwords anymore. I feel like from a business standpoint, they're very frustrating. They charge the most. They do have great quality streams. They have one of the least clunky interfaces. It is very well done, but I feel like for the amount they charge, it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
I think it is.
You think it is?
Yes, but that's just me because I like the shows on it. I like some movies. I'm also like Love is Blind, and I'm into that stuff. So those are the reasons why people keep Netflix around, or for the shows. I don't think it's for the movies. I think it's for the shows.
I get that. I just don't know if there's enough. But again, you know, you're looking at it from two different perspectives. You're looking at it from the perspective of me, who prefers movies over television, over a person. But Stranger Things.
But again, you don't like things like Love is Blind and The Ultimatum and stuff like that. So it depends on what you watch. And I think we have two different lenses when it comes to television and shows and movies. So
for Netflix, it's a yes for, I mean, it's a no for me, but a yes for Faith. But really, this is all going to come down to you guys. We hope we helped you guys make some decisions in your life, like what you want to cut, what you want to keep. It's really going to come down to, like, you know, the programming that you're into. It's tough nowadays. We're just getting back to the point of cable. So, you know, you got to make some tough cuts. Everything is just so spread out now. Like, everything is just on different streaming services. We all can't keep them. We also all don't have enough time in our day to watch everything. There's just so much choices of content. So we hope we helped you guys out in making your choices. And if you did like this video, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell all your friends about us, and we'll be seeing you around.